A lot of people are texting in, Ken. They don't believe the fine officer there and some of his reasoning for arresting folks.
Yeah, I wonder, and I want to be completely transparent here. The audio I'm using is audio that I mined from Channel 4 and from Fox 17.
Yeah.
So I don't have the entirety of the audio. But one thing that is not brought up in these stories is, breathalyzer.
Yes.
And from what we understand, law enforcement is not allowed to use breathalyzers, from what we understand, during traffic stops. And it seems to me maybe that would solve a lot of these problems.
So they're not allowed to use breathalyzers, so they use guessalyzers?
Yeah, what he is saying is that during the field sobriety tests, he's saying that these troopers did not feel like these drivers were sober during the field sobriety tests. But then come later down the road, and I'm not sure how long for each case, but then toxicology comes back and there is no alcohol and no drugs in their system, so the DUI cases are tossed. But as you heard Jeremy Finley bring up to the colonel, but that doesn't explain, why some of these people's lives have been ruined.
Oh, they have been. And he's like, well, we don't want that, but, we have our method. Well, your method's not working, bro.
Well, you got to remember, this is the same guy who allegedly defended two of his troopers arresting somebody at a traffic stop and using the words, your rights.
That's right.
Your rights matter less than you think. Or the less than nothing. Your rights matter less than nothing on Tennessee roads.
Yeah, that's not a good place to be. And again, kudos for going on and doing this. I know he had a hearing. People were asking him questions yesterday, but kudos for talking about it. But you didn't explain anything away. You made it seem worse, actually. Why can't we use breathalyzers? I'm curious about that.
Yeah, I that may be a state law.
So this guy,
and if that's the case, then troopers and law enforcement, their hands are tied.
But why would we even want that as a state law?
I don't know.
Well, they could get it thrown out. Okay, well, it's better than ruining someone's life and having something thrown out, and you having because the lawsuits are flying in. People are going and they're stuck in jail for days sometimes. They don't have money to get out. They have to hire lawyers. They're losing their jobs. They're losing their apartments. And then all of a sudden you look up and you're like, we're sorry about that. And then what happens? They go and get a lawyer and you have to pay out. What's the cost? Let's weigh the costs here. Because this isn't something that happens every once in a while. WSMV has been doing this investigation for a long time. Now everybody else has jumped in on it because it is so prevalent.
Yeah, Fox 17 says they've been studying it for 2 years. And then, of course, a state law was passed that required TBI, Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, then to release the number of these DUI cases that were tossed when toxicology tests come back negative for drugs and alcohol, and they exceed 2,500 cases. And that's not just the Highway Patrol, from what I understand.
I just did a Google search, and it says Tennessee Highway Patrol hasn't stopped using breathalyzers entirely, but shifted towards a no-refusal policy and prefers blood tests for better evidence detecting both alcohol and drugs.
So it's not a state law.
But because, remember what a couple of the cops who would text us said, they forget their breathalyzers or they don't use them or they're not done properly. The thing is, if you get in there, because what have we learned? It takes a long time for the tox report to get back. So while you're waiting, you go through the entire process in court. While some people wait. Remember we were talking about the rape kit, how backed up that is. So you're out there swinging in the wind, having to, put it on 5 credit cards because you hire an attorney, and you go out there and you have to fight this thing, and you're still waiting on the results. The minute, again, this is...
The entire situation loses the complete presumption of innocence.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, the This is
But then again, your rights mean less than nothing on Tennessee highways.
according to him, they do.
Yeah.
So that's good news. Retired Illinois cop, portable breathalyzers were allowed and encouraged for every officer. However, they were not admissible in court. It's definitely helped us determine sobriety on the streets. Yeah. But if you go through if you can't have the thing that will, exonerate you in court until after court is already done in some cases, so you're waiting forever. You're under the cosh if you've been arrested. Now, here's a question, and I don't know this here. Did they take your license immediately?
I'm not sure.
Did they suspend your license immediately upon an arrest? And yes, civil forfeiture, all of those things too. Because how much is it to have that car impounded if it's there for days?
Well, and then, the question is, so what is the recourse for these people? Is there not some sort of, something to help restore them? Or is it just, sorry?
In many places like Tennessee, law enforcement takes your physical license and issues a temporary permit after a DUI arrest. But the official longer suspension often happens after a conviction or if you fail to challenge an administrative suspension.
So, okay. Well, at least you can still drive. But, what does it cost if your car – so they come and they take your car, right? They move your car, they take it, it gets impounded. That's not free, by the way. They don't keep that for free.
No,
they're charging you for the tow and for the impound by the day.
So next thing you know, if you're in there for 5, 6, 7 days, and we've heard stories about people being in there for days, and they get out, and they can't even afford to get their car out. And then it just rattles up and rattles up and rattles up the prices.
Now, I've heard the total cost of a DUI can be around $10,500. Like all the costs combined for someone who is charged with DUI.
Yeah. Well, the one guy who lost like his apartment, his job and stuff in his car, he said he had to go into his 401k, what little savings he had, and he had to put it on 2 or 3 credit cards just to cover the $10,000 for an attorney. And they had to go through the entire process before they even got back to blood work. We got to do better.
So it just seems like, and I don't know for sure. I have not heard whether or not once this is the case, the toxicology shows there was no drugs or alcohol. If there is some way these people can recoup their losses.
Well, they should be, right? They should, and they shouldn't, because what they have to do to recover, they're going to have to go out and hire a lawyer, right? So he ain't working for free or she ain't working for free, mostly.
And that's just more cost.
That's more cost for you, unless they're willing to do it for a split of whatever they get. But they also recognize, even if you do, and you're not getting that money immediately, that's going to take time, filing, all this kind of stuff. It's not like you go file today, they call you tomorrow, they work out a settlement, you go on your way.
And a lot of times, nothing happens at all because of qualified immunity.
Yeah. So and I know there's not a good test for the weed and all that kind of stuff. We get that, but this has been going on for a very long time. And it's not just here. Several people have chimed in about how bad it is in Georgia. Same kind of thing. How bad it has been in Alabama and a few other places where they're just, we got to do better.
Yeah, the field sobriety test, from what I've seen, kind of like you've got to walk a straight line, but you have to step a certain way. And some people may not have good balance. It's not that they're drunk or high. They may just not have good balance.
Those things, any DUI lawyer will tell you, don't do that. Those things, those things are put there for you to fail. One person texted and he goes, dude, sober, I can't do the alphabet backwards.
I probably can't either.
And you know what? Here's the thing. Based on what he said and how we've seen all these things on the news and whatnot, even though people pass these things, they still think that they've got probable cause to just take you.
Well, and yeah, that's another issue.
So, I don't know what it's going to be. It's going to have to be something where you're going to have to end up paying. Several of you have chimed in, by the way. Some of you. Mine cost me $11,000. Mine cost you $12,000. Were you sober drivers? If there's sober drivers listening, What it cost you? How long did the whole thing take? And you're living under that, that thing just weighing on you about going to court, doing these things, taking time off of work, all of that stuff.
Qualified immunity is the biggest part of the problem. If a cop does something wrong, especially if it's egregious, he should not just be able to raise his hand and go, "Oh, I'm sorry, it was in the service of my job. I get qualified immunity." No, you arrested someone that wasn't breaking the law.
Yeah.
That should not be covered under qualified immunity.
No, we've got to we all want to support our law enforcement. They do a hell of a job. It's a tough job. Nobody's saying that. But this is obviously a real issue that we have. And when you've got the chief out there saying, what did he say about your rights? They don't matter here on Tennessee roads?
Yeah, allegedly he said that your rights mean less than nothing on Tennessee roads. And if you don't want to cooperate, stay out of Tennessee.
That's nice. That's nice. So yeah, we've got to do better. And I think this is, this people are paying attention to this. It's not just here. I was watching a report in Memphis, same thing, issues, same thing. I mean, I just thought that one lady that I watched the other day, and it was from the officer video, whatever. He's like, I can smell alcohol. And she's like, what? No. I can smell alcohol. And you could, she was totally.
You got to remember that cops are legally allowed to lie to you.
Yes, I forgot about that too.
So he can say, I smell fentanyl in there.
Yeah.
Well, you can't really smell fentanyl, sir. Well, I smell it, so get out of the car.
I smell fentanyl. What are you, Scooby-Doo? Is there weed in there? Doink, Scoob, there's weed. Oh, Lord, just insane. It is. And then you got what's going on, what's the big thing? There's a memo out from somebody in ICE saying that all they need is a signature from somebody else in ICE, and they don't need an actual warrant from a judge to go into people's homes.
Yeah, that's a load of crap.
Yeah. So no, it's been proven that all we need is who gets to sign it. Tim, sign this really quick. Oh my goodness.
That's another instance where you should not have qualified immunity. If you come into my house without a warrant or exigent circumstances, your job should be forfeit.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's frustrating. We want our rights. We want to be able to protect the cops. They got a tough job. We're not saying that. But at the same time, we have our rights. And when you've got somebody willing to say who's running things for the popo, saying, your rights mean squadoosh on our streets, that's a scary thing. You should have been gone right there, don't you think?
Oh, my opinion, that should have ended his career.
Yeah. Yeah. Because what you're saying is, I'm going to do whatever I want to do whenever I want to do it.
And there's nothing you can do about it. And if you don't like it, pound sand.
Yeah. That is, man, that's not good. All right, coming up, got a lot of stuff. I don't know if you guys are aware of this. It's going to be a little snowy. It's going to be a little cool outside. We're going to talk a bit about that, among other
Get some
things.
flurries?
McFlurry, maybe, like a McFlurry. You know what I had the other day with the Wendy's? I had myself a Frosty.
What kind?
Chocolate.
Oh, yes.
It was
Good
delicious.
choice.
They put M&Ms in it?
No, I didn't ask for that. But you know what I always get confused is the Frosty or a malt. I don't like a malt.
Why not?
Because it's got malt in it. That's why.
I don't even know what that is.
You never had a malt?
Can we talk about this when we get back?
We could.
Okay.
Let's do that. We're having a lot of fun today, kids. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk. 99.7.
Snow, sleet, and freezing rain on the way. Also, the Tennessee Highway Patrol defending its DUI arrest practices after cases were tossed when toxicology tests came back negative for drugs or alcohol. This story and more coming up at 2:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
So malt, before we went to break, we were rudely interrupted by the break, but the people are good people. So I just want to tell you something about the malt. Okay, so the malt. So malts and the Frosty. So the Frosty, which is delicious, okay, it's like between ice cream and a shake, and it's smooth. The malt, okay, made with malted milk power, a little thicker, grainier, right, kind of thing. So it feels like, you know what happens? You know what it is? Well, first of all, I'm not the fan of the malt taste, but just like if you like malt balls. Remember malt balls? Some people thought that was good when you were kids. They're like, hey, this is pretty good. But it is, I always feel like when I'm eating a malt, it's like you're eating, when the ice cream gets frosty, you know when it gets frosty? It's like it stays in your freezer. It almost gets like a freezer burn. That's kind of what I think it is. Where a Frosty's just freaking delicious. Yeah, malt is, thank you, Ham. Malt is nasty.
I guess I've never even noticed the difference.
Yeah.
You sure it doesn't say Matt is nasty?
No, it says malt.
Okay.
I'm looking at Matt, though. But he's also got yet another phenomenal vest on today, kids. Just to let you guys know.
That's way to go, Brother Matt.
He is vest-tacular. A lot of you chiming in about the licensing and stuff. And the qualified immunity. Here's the thing about qualified immunity. They need it, yes, because otherwise you're going to ask them to do what? Carry their own insurance? Who's going to insure a cop?
There'll be people that'll do it. It's like
Yeah, but some of them have some of that. But because what's going to end up happening is, you know, here's the thing: if you're going to if you're going to take away some of that or make them do that, then you're going to have tort reform. Where if you take a cop to court on some bogus thing, your ass is going to end up paying for it, because otherwise those cops will be in there. I mean, I've got cop friends, tons of them. You'd be in there all the time. Every time somebody comes in, oh my God, they beat me.
Yeah.
So we can do better. But I look at the head of the snake, if you will. And if you've got a guy that's going around saying your rights matter out here in Tennessee on the roads, go somewhere else, that's a serious issue. That is. I mean, kudos to him to talking to anybody and trying to, talk about it. But several of you have chimed in and you've gone through this. And suspended license, not suspended license, 15,000, 12,000. And some of you talking about the cars, too, keeping your car for that many days. I wonder what it costs for the impound of the car.
I've heard everything from like 150 a day to 400 a day.
Yeah, think about it. If it's $200 a day and it's there and you're not poor, but you're living paycheck, you're getting by, and you're in there for 5 days, that's an extra $1,000 on top of the tow. And I don't know what a tow is. It was
about 150.
Yeah, so you're looking at close to $1,200 just for that.
I have my car towed 8 feet, and it cost me 150.
Really? Oh, that's right. Yeah, you guys, that was hilarious. That was last year when you got your car that was stuck in the mud, right?
Stuck in the mud, yeah.
Oh man, Brother Bilal, you should have just used some cat litter.
That's right, Bell.
It was pouring down rain.
Well, you know what? You'll think about it next year. Would it have been worth it? Would you like that 150 back?
No, I prefer being not stuck in the mud.
Yeah, but the cat litter. So you get $10 a cat litter and away you go.
I don't think it would have worked.
He didn't think it was work. He doesn't. He doesn't.
Too rainy and too muddy.
Oof.
Well, if it was more water than mud, you could be very well right.
It was so funny, though. I remember he comes in and goes, it cost me $150. I'm like, do you not have AAA? No was the answer.
I mean, I got part of it back because of my roadside insurance, but not a lot.
No, not a lot. So there you guys go. All right, coming up, we got all kinds of stuff about the big frost coming. Speaking of Frosties, the big frost is coming.
With malt.
But malt has coconut in it. Coconut is the worst. Who thinks that's good to put inside?
I hate coconut.
Right? Raisins? Guess what? You got a new pal on the Mount Rushmore of crap people shouldn't eat.
I've hated coconut since I was a kid.
Was it Almond Joy? Hey, I got a great idea. Let's make a great candy bar, and then we're going to put a bunch of crap in it, like coconut.
Yeah, we're going to ruin it.
Yes.
Well, and it's dark chocolate, too. Who wants that?
Looks like a poop in a bar. You don't want any of that stuff. I had some nuts for pooping. It's the Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7. It is the Chad Benson Show, powered by NCA National. Certified Alarms, no long-term contracts. License number 645. It's coming in, kids. The massive blizzard. The huge ice storm. This is the kind of thing that the frozen people would be happy with. Snow Miser would be happy with. I'm Mr. Snow Miser. Remember that guy? So be prepared for it out there. It's going to be nasty. It's going to be cold. But we're going to handle it. It's going to be fine. And I go back and I say this, all kidding aside on this one, make sure if you got somebody down the street or somebody you know, right? Your friend, the lady down the street, the older gentleman whose wife passed away a few years ago, and they're out there, and you see them all the time. That, especially people on fixed income and stuff, that you pop by and make sure they're okay the next couple of days, because it is going to get ugly, and the cold kills fast. So fast. And sometimes, especially other people are close on the edge when it comes financially things. They'll choose to go without in certain things, and you can't have that here. You can't. So, and they're expecting power outages and a bunch of other things. So we're going to keep you aware of everything. That's why we got the weather wizard, right? And we've got all of the stuff going on. And, so we got you covered. We do. Even on Monday, when it is you could ice skate to work. We got you covered. I'm not ice skating.
You're not going to?
No. I'm telling you, if you've go look at when the canals fill up in Holland, and people get off work and they walk down and they put their skates on and they skate home. It's so cool. It is so cool.
That'll save on gasoline costs.
That will save on gasoline costs. The cool thing about Holland is you walk around there, there's bikes everywhere, because Amsterdam, but there's bikes everywhere. Those are everybody's bikes. You just get up on a bike and you ride it somewhere, and then you just get off and leave it there, and somebody else pick it up and take it off with it.
Yeah, but what about the smell of marijuana?
It's everywhere, man. You can't. No, it's not. It's not. Or the hookers. They don't just let you wander in there. And by the way, they're all. It's weird. They're all licensed and everything. They have to have all this stuff. It's all pretty much above board.
They're bonded and licensed.
That's right. Which is what you want in a situation
regulation.
Right, and they make them go get tested all the time for all kinds of stuff, and they pay their taxes. They do. They pay their taxes so they can have wooden clogs and windmills and free health insurance. What? Kids, it's cold outside. Now it's time for the Weather Wizard's Snowpocalypse 2026 update.
Tell us about the snow king. Oh, yeah.
No, baby. So Ken, the snow. What are we looking at snow-wise? Let's go with snow.
2 to 8 inches.
Okay.
In most of Middle Tennessee. And so what they're saying is it could be 2 inches, let's say, in Wilson County, but then maybe in Williamson County, there's 6 inches.
Okay.
It's just so it could differ locally. It just depends on how the snow flies and where it lands. So 2 to 8 inches starting Friday at midnight, ending at Sunday, 6 p.m. in the evening.
Okay.
Now, there's also a chance for at least a 1/4 inch of ice in most of Middle Tennessee, these places where there is anywhere from 2 to 8 inches of snow possible. Now, the ice forecast is much worse for 4 counties in southwest Middle Tennessee. Those counties being Lawrence, Lewis, Perry, and Wayne counties, they're under an ice storm warning. And there could be up to 2 inches of ice in places in those counties, also northern Alabama. And that's what you do not want. And the National Weather Service is saying, expect power outages and damaged trees.
Damn you trees!
Damaged trees. And then it says travel could be impossible.
Man, I'm looking. CNN's got their guy on there, and he's got the little clickers just moving around. He's all, check it out here. Extreme snow dump. Extreme snow dump crushing the south of America. So it begins tomorrow on the plains, intensifies over the weekend, it ends on Monday. But that's when the cool comes in, and it's going to freeze everything, everybody.
Yeah, we're not going to get above freezing starting tomorrow night until the middle of next week at the earliest.
All right, so my latest, Sunday. So Saturday goes into Sunday into about 29 is the high, 11. Monday, 22 the high, 5.
Yeah.
Warms up a little bit Wednesday. 36 into 20, but then, Tuesday into Wednesday. Wednesday drops down to 9 as our low.
Dude, 36 on Wednesday is going to feel so good.
It is.
After what we're going to experience.
Oh, and then get ready for it, because it is, once we get into, the following week, it's going to be, we're looking at, for the next, there's a couple days here again where we're looking in low 20s. Wednesday the 28th, Thursday 29th, Friday the 30th, and Saturday the 31st. We don't get above 30, and our overnight lows are 6 to 9 degrees.
Yeah, man.
So
drip your faucets.
That's
Drip
it.
your faucets.
You got to do it.
Cover those outside faucets like the good guy from USS told us.
Yeah, you got just, be smart too. If you don't have to drive, especially, like the snow is one thing, but when it gets that cold and the freezing rain comes and that stuff, just don't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and like what we were talking about earlier too, if for no other reason, there are people who are going to need ambulances to take them to the hospital for things like heart attacks.
Yes.
Maybe they slip and fall and hit their head, just illness, and first responders are going to need as much room as possible.
Plus, our men and women out there who are not only delivering mail, but think about the people that are going to be out there making sure your lights come back on, your power comes back on, that those things which are going to be, those guys and gals are going to be working hard the next several days.
Yeah, they're going to be real busy.
Ooh-wee, kids. Ooh-wee. People keep sending me this story. I don't know if this is true. I mean, I heard it's true about the 5-year-old boy that came home from preschool or wherever. ICE allegedly used him as bait to detain some people. And I'm like, here's what I know about a lot of this stuff when it comes to ICE and the protesters. There's a lot of misinformation. There's a lot of stuff that's being said from both sides at times that turns out not to be true, and some stuff that does. That's why I say it takes a day or two, to suss stuff out. And it's sad. It's sad that we're in that position. And if they did indeed grab a 5-year-old boy to use him as bait from preschool, that's kind of chicken crap. I was going to say the other word, but we're not podcasting. And then Bell would have forgot to hit the dump button, and then one of you guys would have called and go, he said yes first, Colonel.
I hit the dump button when you're not even cussing.
That's a good idea.
Brother Bill he is ready.
So check this out. This is interesting. Don't forget to check your antifreeze in your radiator. Forget about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a very good point.
Don't forget, antifreeze is poisonous to your pets.
That's right. And it tastes sweet.
Yeah, for some reason.
Get yourself some cat litter, too, in case you get stuck.
Yeah. Bell, if you guys didn't hear, $150 to get Bell out of a ditch.
I got a big old bag of cat litter in my Hyundai. Just in case.
Just in case what, a cat jumps in there?
Just in case he picks up a stray.
Feels like, hey, I could take a dumper in here. I want to know, so here's something, and you know this, man. My dogs are, they're little warm weathery dogs, right? They've got jackets.
Mm-hmm.
I'm worried, because I already know once it gets about 20-ish, they don't want to go to the bathroom. They'd lie to me. They go, let's go to the bathroom. They get outside. They pee for 1 second. They come upstairs. What's Fritz do in the cold?
Little Fritz, he just stands there. When it's snowing, right out the door, usually I've got to lock his leash because, he's ready to go. I don't have to do that whenever it snows because the minute he gets outside the door, he just stands there and looks. And I have to pull him out to do something. Like I said, this little fella, 2 years ago, he went 27 hours without doing anything. I looked all over the house, nothing. And when when it finally melted off enough where he had a place to go, he went. So what I do is I lay an old blanket out just outside the front door. And that way, whenever it's time to take him out, I just lift that blanket up and there's just grass.
Oh.
And that encourages him.
Oh, yeah.
He does not doesn't like his little fella and his little fat belly getting in that snow.
I understand that completely.
I do too. I wouldn't like it.
So people are a lot of people chiming in about their dogs. But they don't want to be out there in this. Some dogs they enjoy it. Right?
Some dogs love it.
The Greenlander dogs.
I saw an Instagram reel yesterday of somebody letting out a flock of ducks from a barn, and the ducks walk all the way out stand there for about 2 seconds in the snow, turn around and walk right back in. They're like, screw this.
Yeah. My dogs are not going to be thrilled by this. My wife's like, she's going to have to get him fur coats. My fur coats, wearing up fur coats.
Right.
So it is just, your animal. And that's the other thing, too. The animals out there, they're going to be out there in a lot of these places, especially cats. Poor cats that are out there like this.
You're leaving your pets out in this weather. You're a horrible human being, and you don't deserve your pets.
Although the interesting thing is, if we were in Scandinavia, they'd be like, you should leave your children outside overnight like this because it's cute for them for the weather. Yeah, they do. Yeah. I follow this Swedish girl on TikTok, and she reads Swedish names off. And you think, so you'll see somebody's like, what's her, like one of, give me an ABBA, one of the ABBAs.
Benny?
What's her last name? Benny
Anderson?
Yeah, so, but she would say, his name is pronounced Björn. I'm like, I'm just going to go with Benny.
Well, it's funny you say that because Benny's real name is something along the lines of Boren Gore.
Yeah. So.
And they just Americanized it with Benny.
Yeah. So, but
we're just going to call you Benny.
Like the names though, because you think it sounds, and like the J is zh. So like Bjorn would be Bjorn, and you're like, oh my goodness. And we're going to be that cold this weekend. We're going to be colder than Greenland. Let's see what Greenland's weather's like, shall we? Greenland weather today, 35 degrees. Monday, 34 with a low of 30. We're going to be way colder than they are. No word if Trump is going to take us over anytime soon. It's going to be great.
Need to hit the Greenland beaches this weekend, baby.
Oh, yeah, we are. I'm going to go do a little whale hunting, right? I got enough of the seals. Yeah.
Just make sure it's one of those almost extinct whales.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Meat tastes better.
Just not the beluga whales.
No, not. They're
I love
liars.
those beluga whales.
Those beluga whales, they lie all the time. You can't trust a word they say at all. All right, coming up, Matt. He's here. He's got a new vest on. Find out what he's talking about. Reach out to us across all of our social media. We love when you guys do. Love, hate, everything in between. Chad Benson, Super Talk 99.7. The weather is coming in, and Matt's got a vest on.
Everyone talks about the weather, and nobody does anything about it. Have you noticed that, Chad?
Well,
everybody talks about it, nobody does anything about it.
We should definitely legislate some better weather. Although we do have those chemtrails. Aren't they trying to do some stuff?
That's what I thought. Can't we just get a couple of those planes up and prevent all of this ice and stuff?
Yeah, I know.
I mean,
right?
one would think.
One would think,
Well, but see, here's the thing. They use the chemtrails for evil, not for good.
Oh, that's right. What
not
are they
for
doing? That's because they're poisoning the sky, so we breathe it in things.
And affecting our minds. But they're making us docile. They used to do it in the fluoride. Now we got wise to that.
We got wise to that, right? And they turned the frogs gay. Now we're going to turn the birds. Well, they're not real anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's what I hear. That's what I hear. What's going on?
Nothing. What's going on with you, man?
You know, the weather.
Outside.
A lot of folks want to talk about the weather. And I get it. How quickly something that seems fun and lighthearted and, turns you into an 11-year-old child can become a human tragedy. And that's what we're talking, the difference between snow and freezing rain and sleet, right?
Yes.
And I guess, at least according to Dan Thomas, and we'll talk to him again today at 3:35. So it's in order of significance, negative significance, it's snow, which is fine. Snow, it's all good. Yeah, make snowman. And then sleet, which is not good.
Not good.
But it's at least pellet. And as Dan Thomas said, freezing rain. The problem with freezing rain is it comes down wet, and then it covers everything, and then immediately freezes. And so everything becomes an ice rink.
Yeah, totally. Like, and this sounds weird to say, but there are going to be people that Monday wake up, think they're going to go outside for something. They're going to slip, break their hip because it's frozen solid. Mm-hmm. And they're going to have to go to the hospital. Mm-hmm. So,
and, I plan on talking about this a little bit. And I don't pretend to be an expert in driving in snow, but I've driven in snow, and I have a four-wheel drive, and I think I'm okay at what I do. I understand, to turn into the skid and all of those things. what I'm fascinated with are people that claim that they can drive on ice.
You can't.
You can't drive on ice.
No. And by the way, turning into the skid means nothing at that point because it's inertia.
You're skidding.
Inertia has taken everything away from you.
Well, I mean, you can potentially impact where the impact is going to be.
Yeah.
But there's going to be an impact.
There's going to be an impact. You will stop when you hit whatever you're hitting.
And you might be able to mildly affect what that is.
Yes. But it's a small. It's slamming on the brakes, turning your wheel into it, turning it out. I mean, you're steering to disaster is the best way to describe that.
Well, but but there'll be people out, there'll be looky-loos, and folks will get out, and then we're draining emergency services because now we got to get you out of a ditch.
And we were talking about, you forget about the people that are like all the linemen and everybody are going to have to be out everywhere. All those people that are going to go out there because people are going to have heart attacks and get into accidents. Just keep off the road.
Well, and I was talking to Chris Hand about it a minute ago. I mean, whether it's Big Grocery, I think
Big Grocery, he was right.
I think Big Generator has something to do with this.
Oh, Big Generator, of course they do.
I mean, come on. Because
Big
I went
Jacket.
to Big God.
Big Mittens.
How can we forget Big Mittens?
Big stocking cap.
So
Big Generator was a Yes album.
I went to I went to BJ's Wholesale Club last night. Had to get gas, had to pick up something at BJ's, and went in, and I was fast. People watching was great. There were multiple people with generators getting generators. Good for you, but it's always good to be prepared, and that's when people buy them. But the amount of people that were buying just like buggies
of stuff,
of groceries.
Yeah. Like, how long do you think this is going to last?
I don't think it's going to last a month.
No.
But
it'll last a few days. It'll be uncomfortable in some positions. Some people are going to lose some power. But you know what?
Just
even
be
if
warm.
Even if
Stay
it's
warm.
frosty next week, at some point, everybody's like, we got to get back to life.
And just stay warm. That's the biggest thing. You don't want to freeze to death.
Amen. Amen. His name is Matt. He's got more of these really good tips straight ahead. You guys keep it here.